Good morning, one and all present here. On behalf of the Center for Film and Electronic Media Studies, I cordially invite all the members for the PhD Public Viva-Voce Defense Examination of Mr. Arockia. Today he will be defending his thesis entitled Cultivating Modernity Through Smartphone Usage, a Comparative Study Among Urban and Rural College Students. Professor P. Susai Manikam will be the convener of this public Viva-Voce examination. He is also the guide for the PhD candidate. I also extend my warm welcome to Dr. Arockia, Professor and Head, Department of Media Sciences, Anna University, Chennai. He is also the director of the EMMRC, Anna University, who is a long-time friend. So thank you so much, sir, for readily giving your consent, accepting this offer and present here. And we also requested him to give a small lecture as per the protocol. So he readily gave his consent to give a lecture on artificial intelligence and digital readiness. So after the session, we'll have a brief talk on this. I think Father will be offering the formal vote of thanks, but anyhow, I welcome all the friends, professors, teachers, scholars, students, everybody, relatives of Mr. Arockia to this PhD Viva-Voce examination. Now we hand over the session to Professor Susai Manikam. Please, sir.
Good morning and warm welcome to everyone here. It is my great honor to welcome Dr. S. Arockia, Director of the Educational Media Research Center and Professor of Department of Media Science, Anna University, Chennai. Dr. Arockia is an eminent academician with a doctorate in media sciences and 3 international fellowships from the University of Edinburgh, the University of Philippines, the University of Aveiro, Portugal. He is also a Rotary Peace Fellow at Sloan University, Bangkok. His expertise covers journalism, development communication, and educational media, and he has guided 14 PhD scholars, completed several research projects with UNICEF and ICSSR, and published more than 76 research papers. He is a true inspiration in academic and community service through his active role in national service scheme. On behalf of everyone here, I extend warm welcome and respectful Dr. Arockia to this PhD Viva-Voce examination. Welcome, sir. It is my privilege to welcome my scholar, Father Arockia, who is here to defend his doctoral thesis titled Cultivation of Modernity Through Smartphone Usage, a Comparative Study Among Urban and Rural College Students. This study offers valuable insight into how smartphone usage shapes perception of modernity among youth in different social contexts. It highlights impact of digital media on values, communication patterns, and life differences between urban and rural college students, a topic both timely and socially relevant. Scholar Arockia has carried out this research with dedication, academic rigor, and deep understanding of media and society. On behalf of the doctor committee and everyone present here, I extend my best wishes to him for a successful presentation and defense. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to our chairperson, Jennifer ma'am, and Dr. Nagarathinam, Professor, my friend Rajesh, and Doctoral Committee member Dr. Balasubramaniam, and my dear friend Ugambardi, the director of the center, and our special invitees from our province, our provincial Father Matthew, Father Arockia, and all our friars present here. A special welcome to you all. And the people from our own college, from the Department of Visual Communication, Arockia Institute of Social Sciences, and a special welcome to our principal, Father Dr. Bernard Shah, and from Holy Cross College, faculties from Viscom department have come. Accordingly, welcome you all. And our own, this is always I feel here when I come to this department, this is for me like a mother department. And welcome all our MKU scholars and students. And there is always a special heart for us, our beloved Professor Dr. Kannan. Anna is our well-wisher, not only well-wisher, he is part of our community, he is our Anna. For any endeavor, any educational endeavor, and any college endeavor, he will be there to shoulder on us. So welcome you, Anna. Once again, I warmly welcome each one of you to this Viva-Voce examination and wish Father Arockia all success in his scholarly journey. Welcome, one and all. Now I hand over the session to Dr. Arockia.
Okay, now I invite the Father to present.
Good morning to everyone present here. I'm really happy for your very valuable presence and your support and encouragement. And here I begin my presentation. So for this topic, cultivating modernity through smartphone usage, a comparative study among urban and rural college students. As an introduction, the media influences every aspect of modern society. Smartphones have transformed social, personal and cultural lifestyle. M. Silopon's idea, we shape our tools and thereafter they shape us. Among all media, smartphones are the most personalized, particularly among youth and college students. The study explores how smartphones cultivate modernity among urban and rural college students. The prevalence of the usage of smartphones among young people often raises concern over certain issues in psychological, personal and social values. Researchers have suggested that the excessive use of new technologies may be particularly problematic to young people. The background and the rationale. Young people live in a media-saturated atmosphere. Smartphones affect behavior, habits and values. There is a need to study how modernity, values and lifestyle are shaped through smartphone use. The study addresses the cultural transformation taking place among students. Statement of the problem. The researchers have found these problems and stated, though smartphones are widespread among college students, insufficient empirical evidence explains how their use shapes modernity in urban and rural Tamil Nadu. No comparative studies between urban and rural college students in Tamil Nadu. The study fills the gap by exploring psychological, personal, and social values changes related to smartphone use. Thus, the study explores the use of smartphones and the cultivation of modernity. Objective of this study: there are 6 objectives. The first one, to compare mean scores of modernity of urban and rural college students. Second one, to compare mean scores of college students according to their level of usage of smartphones with regard to modernity. Third one, to compare mean scores of college students according to their level of usage of smartphones with regard to psychological aspects. Fourth one, to compare mean scores of college students according to their level of usage of smartphones with regard to personal values. Fifth one, to compare mean scores of college students according to their level of usage of smartphones with regard to social values. The final one, to study the correlation between smartphone usage and modernity, psychological, personal and social values of college students. Then we move on to the hypothesis. According to the objectives, I have formulated these 6 hypotheses. The first null hypothesis: there is no significant difference between the mean scores of modernity and urban and rural college students. There is no significant difference among college students based on their level of usage of smartphones with regard to modernity. The third one, there is no significant difference among college students based on their level of usage of smartphones with regard to psychological aspect. The fourth one, there is no significant difference among college students based on their level of usage of smartphones with regard to personal values. Fifth one, there is no significant difference among college students based on their level of usage of smartphones with regard to social values. The final one, there is no significant correlation among the use of smartphone, modernity, psychological aspect, personal values and social values of college students. Theoretical framework for cultivation theory. Origin and background. This theory, developed by George Gerbner in the year 1969 to explain the long-term effects of television on viewers, proposes that continuous exposure to media message shapes individuals' perception of reality. The media acts as a storyteller of modern life, cultivating shared attitudes, values and social norms. The core idea of cultivation theory is television, for example now in digital, tells consistent stories that gradually cultivate a common worldwide among heavy users. Frequent media users internalize media portrayals as social realities. Repetitive exposure leads to mainstreaming audience develop similar perception regardless of social differences. Application in the present study, this theory is extended from television to smartphones and digital media. Smartphones users like TV viewers are categorized as light users. They become limited influencer. Then moderate users become balanced exposure, and heavy users become deeply shaped by smartphone culture. The study examines how constant smartphone engagement cultivates modernity, psychological change, personal values, and social values among college students. The key concept for cultivating modernity: the repeated smartphone interaction reshape beliefs, attitudes, and lifestyle. Young people begin to see digital life as a reflection of real life. Smartphones have become a symbolic environment influencing dress, relationship, and cultural values. So, for example, it's a visual suggestion is given. Television started in the year 1960s and digital age starts from 2000. And for television, we have got media effects on perception, whereas in digital 2000, cultural cultivation of modernity taking very wide. The term modernity refers to the cultural, intellectual and social transformation that marks a move from traditional to contemporary ways of life. It signifies a shift in beliefs, behaviors and values influenced by institutionalization, technology and globalization. Modernity is deeply linked to technological innovation and its influence on social life. Media technologies like radio, television and smartphones have redefined social behavior, time use and cultural identity. Modernity in this study is examined as a cultivated outcomes of repeated smartphone use. The research explores how smartphones shape psychological attitude. Second one, transform personal and social values, encourage individuals and a global outlook. Thus, smartphone modernity make media induced lifestyle transformation among urban and rural college students. Through the review of related literature, the researchers have gone through these outcomes. I am not bringing all the review of literature. The outcome of studying, going through all this literature, the researcher is found, examine moral and cultural shifts due to technology. Researchers like Viva-Voce linked modernity with changing values. Previous studies focus on addiction and media habits, but not on modernity cultivation. Identified gap, need for a contextualized study in Indian college culture. These are the outcome the researcher found from the review of related literature. Then we have got research gap. The research gap for this study is a limited Indian studies on cultivating modernity through smartphone usage. Most existing research has been conducted in Western context, leaving a geographical and cultural gap in understanding this phenomenon among Indian college students. No validated scale existed. It also introduced a new psychometric instrument called a CM-SUS-44 suited to Indian youth culture. The study brings psychological, personal and social dimension in an Indian context. Most previous research focused on addiction and academic impact, not on cultural transformation. The study addressed both a theoretical gap, extending cultivation career to digital media, and a geographical gap focusing on Tamil Nadu. The research design, the design is quantitative and qualitative, a mixed method was used. Data collection was focus group was done, in-depth interview was done, and a survey was being made. Instrument, cultivation of modernity through smartphone usage scale SM-SUS, CM-SUS-44 was used. Data analysis SPSS, t-test ANOVA, Pearson correlation was used. Ethical consideration were followed for voluntary participation. Sample and population. Population for this study, urban and rural college students aged from 18 to 25 for this particular study. And area is Chennai as urban and Dindigul as a rural is taken. And sample size is 1000 students, 100 for each district. Sampling technique under probability sampling, the researcher has used systematic random sampling. Pilot study having done conducted to test clarity and reliability. According to Israel's table, if the population exceeds 10 lakhs, the sample size has to be 663 for range of 5 confidence interval. since the population of college students is over 10 lakhs, and also in selection it ended up with a fraction and the sample size was fixed to be 1000. So this is the diagram and distribution of the sample, Chennai and Dindigul. And in Madras University, the researcher have taken 5 particular colleges. Also in Dindigul. Okay. Now research methodology. Instruments for the study. The researchers have used cultivation of modernity through smartphone usage scale CMSUS 44. It came as a reliability as 0.82. Data collection. The first survey consisted of 51 questions with a 5-point Likert scale and was later reduced to 44. The total sample were 1660, and on the basis of sufficient information, the respondents from 60 respondents were eliminated. Hence, the final sample is 1000. All the data were collected and properly stored for analysis. The questions with multiple choices were also coded. There were a total of 44 variables. So statistical treatments. So the researchers have used test of normality, independent t-test, cross-tab, chi-square test, one-way ANOVA, Pearson correlation coefficient, and is used to measure correlations between variables. So test of normality is being done. So this is the result. The test of normality is that the data are normally distributed. And the above table shows that the p-value of rural is 0.01 and urban 0.01 are both below 0.05. Therefore, in terms of Shapiro-Wilk test, we can assume that our data are normally distributed. So reliability and intrinsic validity. Internal consistency, reliability, Cronbach's alpha analysis, the reliability between items. The result for CMSUS 44 indicated that Cronbach's alpha was 0.82, confirming the high reliability of the measure. Factor analysis. An exploratory factor analysis was done to uncover the underlying dimensions of the variables. Principal components analysis with Verimax rotation was done on the numeric and Likert type variables. However, care was taken not to include the variable the number of hours college students use smartphones in a day, since this variable is to be used as the independent variable in the one-way analysis of variance. This is the column that we used, and this KMO test value is 0.84, which is more than 0.5 and can be considered acceptable and valid to conduct the data reduction technique. So for each factor, I just want to read out this one. For factor 1, modernity, this factor represents cognitive and cultural modernity cultivated through constant smartphone exposure. Students using smartphones frequently identify modern living with speed, connectivity, and global awareness. It reveals how smartphones influence attitudes towards modern fashion, freedom, and contemporary lifestyle chorus. Factor 2, psychological aspects. It reflects the internalization of media habits where continuous smartphones use affects attention span, anxiety levels, and identity formulation. It aligns with Gerbner's cultivation theory, showing how repeated media exposure cultivates psychological patterns and perception of social reality. Factor 3, personal values. Finding indicates that light smartphones users maintain traditional personal values while heavy users adopt more self-directed modern approaches to decision making. This demonstrates how smartphone exposure gradually shifts the moral scope and self-concept of college students. Factor 4, social values. Students with higher smartphone exposure show greater social openness and equality orientation, while those with limited use retain traditional moral frameworks. This supports the idea that smartphones cultivate progressive social attitudes and redefine moral boundaries through repeated digital interaction. Data analysis. Before analysis, the data set checked for missing data and outliers. For this, the outliers labeling rule was used. All values outside the calculated range were considered outliers. The formulated hypothesis. To test the formulated hypothesis, tests like independent sample details, Pearson coefficient of correlation, etc. have been used. The formulated hypotheses have been tested and conclusions have been drawn. Descriptive statistics. The study is presented in the following descriptive statistic results. Residents, 50% urban and 50% rural college student. Gender, 48.8% are male and 51.2% are female. Family, 28.2% are joint family, 71.8% are nuclear family. Age group, 52.6 from age 18 to 20 years and 47.4% 21 and above years. College, 57.4 arts and 42.6 is from science college. There are more heavy users among the students of rural compared to those from urban areas. Urban areas offer students many options for entertainment, whereas rural areas might not have such possibility. This is evidenced by hours of smartphone usage. Such qualities of independence between the areas of residence and smartphone usage is significant. It indicates that there is a significant association between the place of residence and hours of smartphone use. The one-way analysis of variance was performed with the record compound variable smartphone usage as the independent variable. The following factors were used as the dependent variables. They are modernity, psychological aspect, personal values and social values. Now I move on to the hypothesis test. Okay, the first hypothesis, there is no significant relationship between the mean scores of modernity of urban and rural college students. For this, I got this result. The t-value of about table is significant at the 0.01 level, indicating a significant difference in the mean modernity scores of urban and rural college students. Hence, the null hypothesis is rejected. Then second null hypothesis, there is no significant difference among college students based on their level of usage of smartphones with regard to modernity. And we have the table and the result. Heavy users, compared to moderate users, heavy users display greater acceptance of modern values, being open to new ideas, relationship, passion and virtual interactions. Then hypothesis 3, there is no significant difference among college students based on their level of usage of smartphones with regard to a psychological aspect. This is a table and this is the result. This compared to modern users, heavy users show greater smartphone dependency. They feel uneasy without their mobile phone and experience depression when socially disconnected. React emotionally to network issues, feel low self-esteem when posts receive no likes, and prefer loneliness with their smartphones. Hence, the above hypothesis is supported, though partly. Then fourth hypothesis, there is no significant difference among college students based on their level of usage of smartphones with regard to personal values. This is a table and this is the result. So compared to moderate users, heavy users exhibit both positive and negative personal values. Positively, they lead a disciplined life, value family and neighborly relationship, respect other religions and engage in social services. Negatively, they tend to justify dishonesty for gain, pursue self-centered relationship, reject arranged marriage and disregard elders' advice. Hence, the hypothesis is supported, though partly. Then I move on to the fifth hypothesis. There is no significant difference among college students based on the level of usage of smartphone with regard to social values. And we have the result. Hence, the hypothesis is supported, though partly, compared to moderate users. Heavy users demonstrate both positive and negative social values, positively enduring gender equality and social responsibility through smartphone use, while negatively showing liberal attitudes toward premarital sex, same-sex relationship, divorce, and etc. Then, sixth null hypothesis, the final one, there is no significant correlation among the usage of smartphone, modernity, psychological aspect, personal values, and social values of college students. This is a table and itself. So the above table shows that the correlation coefficient between the usage of smartphones and the modernity, psychological aspect, personal and social values of college students is, as this numbers given, and it shows that the usage of smartphones and modernity, psychological aspect, personal and social values in the urban and rural college students were positively and significantly correlated. So according to the hypothesis testing, thus the null hypothesis that there is no significant correlation between usage of smartphone and the modernity, psychological aspect, personal and social values of college students is high. It may therefore be said that smartphone usage and the modernity, psychological aspect, personal and social values of college students were found to be highly related. The findings. The researcher have found these findings. Namely, first one, smartphone usage and modernity. Smartphone use has become integral to students' lifestyle and identity. Urban students exhibit higher levels of modernity and digital adoption than rural students. Rural students use smartphones mainly for educational and social communication purpose, reflecting a balanced adoption of technology. Second one, influence of psychological aspect. The continuous smartphone engagement impacts self-image, social connection, and emotional dependency. Heavy users experience higher levels of digital attachment and peer influence than light users. Light users maintain psychological balance and are less affected by social comparison. Third one, impact on personal and social values. Personal values, heavy smartphone users display greater individualism and self-expression. Light users show discipline, respect for elders, and preference for arranged marriage. Social values, heavy users demonstrate liberal attitudes like equality, gender openness, lifestyle choices, etc. Light users uphold traditional social norms, for example, family orientation, ethical restriction. Then the fourth finding, urban and rural comparison. Urban students, technologically advanced, socially expressive, more open to global culture. Rural students, socially grounded, value-oriented, cautious in adopting modern lifestyle. This contrast reveals media-induced cultural divergence within Tamil Nadu's college students. The fifth one, cultivation through validated in digital context. Smartphones act as a new cultivation medium, paralleling Jevner's television theory. Repeated digital exposure leads to cultivation of modernity, beliefs, passion, relationship, and lifestyle. It confirms that smartphone use shapes perception, values, and cultural identity among college students. The sixth one, key statistical highlights, insights. This significant difference found in mean scores of CMSUS 44 scale, sub-dimensions across socio-demographic variables. Strong positive correlation between smartphone usage and modernity, psychological and social value factors. Validated CMSUS 44 scale as a reliable measurement tool for future digital media studies. These are the major findings. Then I move on to conclusion. The present research entitled Cultivating Modernity Through Smartphone Usage, a comparative study among urban and rural college students, has made a scientific and systematic attempt to understand how smartphones influence the social, psychological, personal and cultural transformation among college students of Tamil Nadu. The second one, smartphones are no longer mere communication devices. They are symbolic environments that construct modern social reality. They cultivate new forms of modernity that blend technology, individuality, and cultural change. Among college students, smartphones are shaping thought patterns, interpersonal relationships, and moral frameworks, leading to the emergence of a hybrid modern identity where traditional and global values coexist. The researcher humbly concludes that this study fulfills its purpose by scientifically exploring how smartphones cultivate modernity and contribute to the media-driven transformation of youth culture in contemporary India. It also opens pathways for further research on digital behavior, cultural change, and media ethics in the rapidly evolving technological age. Recommendations. The researcher gives this recommendation: promote digital literacy and ethical media use among students, as be given. Encourage the students for balanced use of smartphone for education and creativity. Further research in other cultural origins and age groups could be done. Develop intervention programs to retain core values while embracing modernity. The limitations. The researcher found these limitations limited to Tamil Nadu college students, urban and rural, focused only on smartphones, not other media. Cultural and gender variables could be explored further. The contribution from the researcher. So developed a validated new scale called CMSUS 44. Expanded cultivation theory application to digital media. Empirically established the relationship between smartphone usage and modernity. Added insights to Indian media psychology and youth studies. So publication and academic contribution from the research scholar. It's an international conference paper, was published on cultivation of modernity via internet. A journal of the Oriental Institute, and in that the researcher published a comparative study of modernity and among urban and rural college students. In Indian Social Science Congress, the researcher presented the standardization of CMSUS 44. Sorry. So, thank you.
Your research work. Two Indian and what in Indian give the reports. The Indian examiner, Dr. Vishwas Kushma from ATK Mass Communication Group from the Jamia India. He raised some questions. I'm reading the question, you can answer. Number one, how does your application of calculation theory to smartphone usage expand or challenge general original formulation, especially given the differences between unidirectional television exposure and the interactive smartphone?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate this question also. And it's we need to give the difference. I have taken mainly for this research cultivation theory, and it is developed by George Herbner. And he, when he started, there was a television, and in the television, people were just watching. They were also passive people, and he used that. And taking this same theory, now I have taken and converted this idea to smartphone usage, telling that this has to develop having the concept of that where people when use smartphone, they become not passive person, they become active. So this is there is a link between this germinous cultivation theory and coming back to modernity in the smartphone. So he mainly focused on television, how people watch and become passive, and I take this concept and develop according to the new technologies and give a conclusion that through smartphones same thing happening, but they are active people here.
What are the key considerations in constructing and related to the PMS 44, and how do you justify ethical reliability and reliability in the Indian college?
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for the beautiful question. So, before starting my research work, I found that no instrument or scale was found for this particular cultivating modernity theory. Then I went through the cultural concept, what is happening in culturally traditional background. Then I have gone through so many this related review literature, and reading so many review of literature, I could come to understand how people are slowly emerging, accepting modernity. Then after reading so many this related literature, then I formulated so many questions. Then I went through all these things and formulated few questions, and I had a focus group study, where in which I asked so many questions related to modernity. Then I went for in-depth interview also and formulated. Then this questionnaire were given to the expert for all the arrangements and for the corrections, and it went through. Then I went for finding out factor analysis, how the factor is. I have formulated 42 items. In that I need to just set a group like a factor. I have created 4 factors. All the ideas items has to come under these 4 factors. Then I formulated modernity, psychological aspect, and personal and social values of these are 4 factors. Then I went through SPS, used SPS for analyzing the data, and brought out reliability using all the experts' opinion and other expert work also.
Next question, your findings suggest marginal differences between urban and rural college students in terms of psychological and social values. What socio-cultural factors do you believe account for the differences, and how might they inform policy intervention?
Yeah, my study mainly focused on social, all these 4 areas. But according to these studies, when you go through, and there will be very little space for socialization. But why I want to give psychology and even personal values and modernity? My main study is talk about this modernity and psychological being. But going through the result, I found even the socially people try to live what they want to live, especially in rural areas, not in the urban. So socially, I have also brought so many items. How do they give respect for the elders? Do they value the social system and the rules and regulations followed by the society? All the things are the items are given. Also, the importance given for the all four factors. But the result came only few for this socialization.
Heavy smartphone usage reflects rather than shared modernity and values among young people. Did your qualitative data reveal any unexpected contradictions or surprises regarding agency and self-reflection among students?
Yes, sir. Surely, there are so many variables. I did not expect so many answers from the students. When I went through for the data collections and when I was entering into the SPSS and looking at the result, I found some of the ideas were not taken consideration by the students. I really surprised. Some openly say that I am for this. I'm for this modernity. Why you want to say this one? When I was doing a focus group study, then they were openly sharing their own opinions, ideas. Then I found it is because of this modernity and because of the overuse of smartphones, they come to understand this is a life, this is a society. So that is what I found from these findings, sir.
Next exam, Professor Arockia from University of Jaffna. He raised 4 questions. First one is, there are many misplacement of matter in the structure of the thesis. Clarification bracket from the researcher.
Yeah. Basic academic rules and regulations of the university. I followed the APA method format also, and I just want to bring out the idea before the reader and before the one who reads my paper should understand, because my main thesis is concentrating on the cultivation theory and this cultivation theory and the modernity. So I want to give importance for this concept, so that the readers can further go and understand other findings and results. That was my aim. I given elaborately also and given in the first priority, so that they understand the term cultivating modernity and the cultivation theory.
The arguments to justify efforts of the researchers for the selection of the area to be investigated in order to fill the gap in previous research.
Yes, sir. Areas, though I have taken urban as a Chennai city, rural as a Dindigul. Dindigul is called in Tamil Nadu, it's a rural district, and I have taken these areas, and Chennai as urban, where people it's all culture common study there, and I have taken this variation so that the result could be very valid. How the rural people develop this modernity, how these urban people are developing. Where is the difference? What kind of the difference students find in using smartphone? I just want to find out. I rightly selected with the consultation of a guided expert, Chennai and Dindigul, sir.
Madurai and Trichy is nearby to
Yes, sir. So, yes. Yeah. So Chennai is the city where all the modern technologies is being used, and all kind of people come there, and they experience a lot of freedom. And my topic is cultivating modernity. Comparing to other districts, Chennai is the city or a place where students are seen or developing modernity more than other districts. That's the main reason that I have selected. Yeah.
Section detailing the origin and background of cultivation theory appear overly lengthy, somewhat irrelevant, and closely resembles textbook content. Justify it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Nicely is found out, and I have elaborately given. It's not like a textbook. I want to give more knowledge regarding the theory and the concept, so that it is understood by the readers. Then, according to his direction also, then I have gone through, I have simplified it, sir. After I have given the correction also, I made it easy. so that the main concept could be understood by the readers. Yeah.
It should be used justifiably, not like the text.
Yeah.
Too much of information is not needed.
Okay.
Then there are inaccuracies in the presentation of the characteristics of moderate smartphone users concerning modernity, psychological aspects and personal values, particularly in comparisons made with heavy users.
Yeah. So this comparison I also found there is a difference. So heavy users, for example, urban people, they are more modern and less traditional values are being followed. And in the light users, they completely follow the traditional values. Moderate viewers are in between. Some try to follow modernity, some try to hold on traditional. So they balance their life in between. They are called moderate users. And where in my studies, the high users of smartphones become more, and they cultivate modernity, so many other modern things in their own life and academic situations also.
Question. The external examiner of this Viva, I have some basic question. You studied about modernity.
Yes.
Modernity is very more term.
Yeah.
We are using for so many decades. Why you are selected this modernity for studying the smartphone?
Yes, yes, sir. In 1960, the word modernism has come to emergence, and in that the field of modernism was maybe in artist and technology and other things, areas of economic level, political level. So modernism, all the areas the modernism started emerging, and mainly particularly have taken this word modernism. It is because of the technology, not the other areas. So this word is very vast area, modernism, very vast, but I just want to focus only in technology, how this technology plays a vital role for this modernism and modern activities. Yeah, modernity.
Who brought making the comparison between education? What is the name? When we are studying from concept,
Yeah.
we can study just in general.
Yes,
What
sir.
is your
Yeah, this is my personal observation when I was teaching in the college, and I found difference. Now, both in cities and rural colleges also, I was taking classes. I found some basic difference. Why people are behaving such a way? Why people are so bold and all the things and made. And this I want to compare why these rural people, students are such a way, and why these urban people are in this way. What is taking place? Who is the cause? What is happening behind them to motivate all these things? Then I just want to observe and I want to do a research, and particularly this area. Since I was teaching in rural area and urban, I just wanted to focus how these people develop this modernism through smartphone usage.
In your participation, I noticed that your adjectives, your
Yes, sir.
the adjectives not in the proper format. You can rewrite.
Okay.
It's a small suggestion. Then I also followed many hypotheses. But all the hypotheses are in the form of null hypothesis.
Null hypothesis.
Why this null hypothesis?
Because I am not sure of the results, sir. No, this I just I want to say that this could be the reason. And I want to find out by going through all the analysis and study the exact result. That's why I have chosen null hypothesis, not alternative hypothesis. That's why I put there is no significant relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Throughout the thesis you studied about calculation theory.
Yes, sir.
In this kind of technological thing, many researchers they are using technology diffusion.
Yes, sir. There are many.
Instead of diffusion of innovation,
Yeah.
we are cultivation.
Cultivation. Yeah, there are other many areas that could be even so many theories are there that can be used. Since I want to take this cultivation, the word itself cultivate something we cultivate from the student's life.
more
relevant to this research and bring out the concept, old concept, and emerge this idea to the digital world.
Then you study, when you collected the sample, what is the sampling technique you follow?
Simple random sampling technique.
Sampling, okay. Why you fix the problem? Instead of
as I
something you cannot for your research.
Yes, sir.
But you fix the problem.
Since I am having this comparison between two groups, if I compare with the equal number, then I will have some solid result. In order to find that, and with the expert opinion, I have arrived at 1,000, sir.
How many questionnaires are distributed?
1,600. Sorry, 1,060. And 60 was not in order. Then I have taken 1,000 samples.
Apart from that, you consider a lot of research finding, which makes more novel. Novelty in your research.
I don't get you, sir. Novelty.
Novelty means particular very new thing.
New thing.
Finding.
Yeah.
Compared to all other researchers,
Yeah.
you can say from my research, I am confidently saying that this is the new one.
Yes.
I found it from this.
Yeah. Through these four factors: modernity, psychological aspect, personal values, and social values. In all these areas, students who are studying in the college and go through all these areas of the development. Some they don't develop, some retain in the traditional values. And what shocking news was that people in the students immediately whatever comes through the smartphone, immediately they try to accept and change their whole lifestyle itself. This was my findings that I found emergence.
From my side, the final question. If you are saying a one-line answer for your research, final thing I found,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Smartphones cultivates modernity.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, now this Viva was open to the audience. The audience, you can ask any questions related to this research. Right.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, sir.
I'm Dr. Julius Caesar from St. Joseph's College, Dean School of Commerce. I appreciate the guide and the candidate, maybe the first candidate of the guide. You are both very emotional, I should say. The topic as such is very good. You have passed through a proper channel to find out what exactly the question is. That's something very fine. I will register a few observations you need not answer. First one, you could have used the SEM model for this type of study.
Yeah.
Using SEM model will give a lot of insight, and there could be a proper outcome that may be something which can be internationally accepted. So that is first observation. The second observation is you cannot have exactly rounded off number of respondents. 500, 500, that is not accepted in research. So that is my second observation. The third thing, I think we have missed out the suggestions. So what is the suggestion that you would like to make
Yeah.
from your thesis? What are the, probably for what time you would have skipped, I suppose.
Yeah.
Giving some concrete suggestions are very important in taking up your research. So these are all my three observations. Probably if you have any suggestions, you can
Yeah, it's there in the slide I have given for a suggestion for teachers, suggestion for parents, and suggestion for friends in three areas. I have formulated and given this. Yeah, because of, yeah.
That's the major
Sure, sir.
point in research. So other than that, I really appreciate the guide and the candidate for exploring a new dimension in the study. And I would also register that the whole thesis structure brings out some sort of counseling.
Okay.
That is the basic vision of capuchins. That's something very nice. Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Already two suggestions have been mentioned in your slide.
Yes, sir.
Put it in the future.
Yeah, in the limit.
Media,
Yes.
another suggestion is there.
Yes, sir.
I am Dr. Suikin, HOD of you have presented well. As a layperson, I understand something from this presentation. That is, heavy users usually, I thought heavy users are there in urban areas.
Okay.
But in your research, there is a novel idea I have received from your presentation. Heavy users are more in rural areas than the urban areas. That is the thing I have, this is a very good thing. Like what the professor mentioned earlier, there are some social psychological issues. This is the need of the hour. This study is very good. What are the social or psychological issues faced by students? If anything is there, that we can mention. That's the thing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Father Alex, it was a very wonderful presentation and a lot of information you got from your presentation. Now, you have three categories of people in which you say heavy users and moderate users and light users. So, how do you categorize them? How many hours do they use? When you say heavy users, how many hours in a day they use a smartphone? And then moderate users, how many hours do they use?
So in the questionnaires we have developed, according to that one we are divided, and hours of smartphone usage, 0 to 1, it's a low, very light, heavy, moderate, yes, and 2 to 3 hours are moderate users, and 3 to above hours are heavy users. According to the hour of usage, then I formulated, moderate users and light users, heavy users.
So about 3 hours,
heavy
user.
Yes.
Many will fall into the category.
Yeah, many.
Dr. Bernard Shah, Principal, Department of Social Sciences. First, I congratulate the guide and also the research scholar for the beautiful presentation. It was really an eye-opener for many people for taking this concept. Of course, this cultural modernity, it is giving a kind of pivotal role in the budding scholars. In that way, that reminds us an eye-opener. I have a few observations in this. I think you might have done already in your presentation would have been there, but it is for the purpose of the scholars and all the people who are present here. Maybe the variable mapping and other little more details of the qualitative, because you have done the importance of the focus group discussion is very much important, through which that we have to bring out many more truths that we are able to identify. That way, that also would have been reflected here. And one question just like to ask you, what are the hurdles that you have faced while you are pursuing? Because your location of this area is one is in Chennai and another is in Dindikal. So in these two areas where you have to go, and the other, what are the difficulties? Because culturally also there is a difference, socially there is a difference, and even psychological difference are available. In that way, how do you justify and you can enlighten us?
Thank you, Don, for your beautiful observation and the question also. As you pointed out, and I faced a lot of problem, very much difficult, I have to go to Chennai. Urban people, students, and I experience even giving data and collecting, it requires a lot of patience, they don't respond. And even when we go and get permission, it was not given, and I have to come back so many days. Even to particular institute, I have gone more than 10 times rejected, then I have gone to 11th time only. So even the Dindikal, So it is not very easy as we go and we will get a data, very easy, and even to understand the student and he explain about the particular topic, and it requires patience and even it requires even the time and energy to spend to collect all the data. And I have gone through so many experience for collecting data for that, and it made me even to go further. What happened is, so when I started, then COVID started. So I wanted to go for more than 2000 status in data, but not able to do it because of the COVID situation. Even then, I have gone through all the colleges I have collected. It was so difficult, even the Corona time also.
I am Father Matthew, Professor of Postmodern Philosophy. And this time I was just wondering when you talked about modernity, and we are in the postmodern world, and postmodernity is already on taking over so many things. Therefore, I was little understanding, still are we still in modernity, or are we to jump over to postmodernity was my question behind when you were doing.
Yes.
One thing I just wanted to say is, you have done a very good research, going through different details, and you were very confident while presenting what you have done. A personal research that went on, a personal study that went on, that I was able to make out from the presentation that you have given. I congratulate you for your personal effort that you have taken, and also come to your conclusion, some of the things that you have made at the end of the presentation. You have said, these are my findings, personal findings. So these are some ways that usually a scholar is supposed to present in a way. I'm really happy about it. The only thing is, now, as what I call advanced post-research and so on, you may be, you can go to the next level of post-modernity and the impact of media today, because we are advancing into what I call generations as well as different generations of technology.
Yes.
The what I call generation, the boomer generation, all those things they are passed to next one, and therefore what I call relevance will be more when you take over the next step.
Sure.
So that will be your post research that I will just suggest. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. Where I do it, sir.
Well, I am Mahalingam Kandan from Social Work Specialization. I really appreciate the work done by the scholar. In many occasions, I found your great space, especially statistical analysis, because it's very fond of using a lot of statistical technique, especially factor analysis, etc. I have a few suggestions when you are going to publish this as a research work. Number one, kindly look into the test of normality. There's slightly some discrepancies I think I found. Correct me if I'm wrong. So kindly look into that before for publication as a book.
Sure, sir.
Number one. Number two, the level of usage of internet or social media, whatever. You said mild, moderate, severe. Three levels you tried.
Yes, sir.
I think there comes the usage of, pardon me if I'm wrong, there comes the usage of mean and standard deviation. Anything below mean minus the standard deviation is considered as low. So that's how we can classify the usage of media.
Yes.
That is another suggestion that I have to make. Number two, again, Father Bernasha suggested that having a variable map will probably conceptualize your research.
Okay.
I think that is missing probably everywhere. And in your slide, you have not talked about the mixed methods. Though you have mentioned about the focus group discussion, key informant interview, qualitative research, etc., was not there in the presentation. I was just wondering. But later on, when you are explaining by the external examiner, you could answer.
Yes.
And one good thing that I have observed is, I think all the scholars who are sitting here should understand and follow the methodology adopted by Father Arockia. When the external examiner is posing a question, you start appreciating the external examiner. That's a good thing, because you are so calm, composed, and you are ready to face the questions. So that good thing that I have, I don't know whether it's because of the priesthood or I don't know. It's a good thing that we are explaining
Yes.
Why? Because after becoming PhD student, after getting your PhD, maybe after 5 years you become this guy, and you should not have any difficulties in getting your scholars.
Yes.
So I'm so happy that we have used all the sophisticated statistical technique, though not SEM, AMOS and all, but it's a basic thing that you have done very nicely. And again, I have you have done a beautiful review of literature. My question remains, why null hypothesis?
Yes.
Why null hypothesis? You could have made such hypothesis. And you could have done it. There are, you said you have used APA format. Kindly look into that.
Yes.
There are different things to be followed. Otherwise, I really appreciate your guide as well, the scholar. I don't know whether you are the first candidate for the society.
Yes, sir. I am the first one.
Very good. If the first candidate is performing like this means think about other scholars like Matthew and I'm eagerly waiting for this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
But are there any questions from scholars and students? We'll take, otherwise due to lack of time we'll wind up.
Whenever there is a less research, there is some percentage they are giving in the literature review, then we go for a null hypothesis. With regard to modernity, there are less research, less reviews, therefore the hypothesis is formulated in the null forms.
Yeah.
Students, scholars only. Scholars, students, scholars. This is the scholars. Scholars, PhD scholars. Theology.
I appreciate the wonderful presentation and all this. These communication devices not only they also affect changes in our technique and information. And my question was language modernization.
Yeah.
What is that word?
Modern, postmodern language.
Comfortable with that topic. Cultivating modernity actually wants that to speak this way.
Yeah.
They're already in the question. When we read this topic, actually it makes that century. Modernity, in fact, that one, another one could be better way to read.
Modernity, you can use that word only for technology, not modernism. You can differentiate modernism and modernity. Modernism is a philosophy. Modernity is a kind of using a technology. So as it has been developed technologies, we are using that word as a modernity. That is the difference. Ism is entirely different from
Yes. Thank you.
Based on the evaluators' questions and my questions and the questions from the audience, Mr. Arockia, given that his research was successful. So I congratulate Arockia. So based on the successful Viva-Voce, I am recommending to the university Mr. Arockia, he may be awarded with his PhD. So from now onwards, you can call him as a doctor. Yes. But during the presentation, I watched some of the things from the Arockia. Immediately, he is replying immediately without giving much time. Give நம்ம சொல்லுவோம் டக்குன்னு ஆன்சர் கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. Immediate answer he gave. But some of the things he want to go in deeply. No problem. The PhD, doing PhD is the first step of the research work. So after that you can continue and enhance your research and you can produce a lot of publications. Okay. Thanks.
At this very outset, I blessings, grace, and guidance throughout my research journey. Without His presence, all providence, this day could not have been possible. My heartfelt thanks go to my research supervisor, Dr. P. Suse Monicum, Professor and Head Department of Visual Communication, Dindigul, and suggestions, scholarly advice, and patient encouragement at every stage of my research. His membership has been a beacon of light throughout my academic journey. Thank you, dear Father. Thanks so much. I'm deeply grateful to my external examiner, Dr. Arul Selvan, Professor, Department of Visual Communication, Anna University, Chennai, for his thoughtful evaluation, valuable comments, and insightful discussion that added immense academic value to my work. Thank you, dear sir. Thank you so much. My sincere thanks to our Director of Research Center, Dr. V. Ilambaradi, for his continuous support, encouragement, and facilitation of a smooth research process. Thank you so much, dear sir. I also thank doctoral committee members, Dr. Bal Subramani, who is here, and Dr. Suganti, and expert like Dr. Julia Caesar and Dr. Kannan, and all many others are there, and for the constructive feedback and guidance which helped to refine and strengthen my thesis. Thank you, dear professors. With great respect and affection, I express my gratitude to our Provincial Minister, Reverend Father A.J. Matthew, and it is because of him. He only first motivated me, and he allowed me to do my research work, and he was a provincial and he allowed me, and when I complete my research work and he is present, I'm so happy. It is a plan of God. Thank you, dear Father Provincial, for inspiration and prayerful support. My heartfelt thanks to you, Father. And also Father Arockia Das, the Provincial Minister of Mary Queen of his province, whose encouragement, presence and assistance have been a great source of motivation and joy throughout this journey. I express my deep gratitude to my guardian, Arul Savior, for his continuous moral and spiritual support. I am ever thankful to my beloved community members, fathers, brothers, and even other province brothers and fathers. Thank you, dear brothers, for your prayers, support. I also especially thank my mother, Crystal, who is here, and my brother and 4 sisters are here, and for their conditional love, sacrifice, and prayers that have made me what I am today. My warm thanks to all my companions, my own companions. 3 are here now with me, those who studied with me for the priesthood, and other fathers also. Thank you, dear my companions. A special word of appreciation to our head of department, Mr. Matilda Rajkumar from Holy Cross College, and other staff, Mr. Madam Sandhya has come here, and other staff, and all the staff members from Holy Cross College to receive for their cooperation and encouragement. I also thank all my relatives and friends who have been part of this memorable journey with their support and good wishes. My sincere appreciation goes to the university staff and students, for scholars, for their help and cooperation. They are very present, making today's event a grand success. Finally, I thank each and every one present here today for your guidance, presence, and kind wishes. Your encouragement and blessings have made this day truly special and unforgettable. Thank you, dear one and all.